would you describe the nature of the playoff race right now and the seeding and all that stuff?
Typical. I think last 4 or 5 years has been like this in the West. Just really close. You can drop a few games and you drop a few slots in the standings. And you can win a few and do the same and move up. So it's a tight race once again, like it always is.
Does it help you in you guys having been through that all these years?
I think it helps. I think a more inexperienced team would have trouble with it, with dealing with maybe a big loss or a few losses in a row and bouncing back from it and just how to handle it, as far as your mental state. We've been through it. I think, the year before last when every game was like super important just to get an 8 seed and having gone through stuff like that as a group, I think it kind of prepares you for a tight race, going down the stretch.
What are a couple important factors in approaching that and separating yourself from the pack?
I think just being sharp for longer than other people are. I think sometimes you're going to play a great game or play a great 2 games, and then the next game might not be so great. But, just being able to stay the course over a tough game where you're not making shots, you don't start well, things aren't going well for you at some point in the game, just being able to manage that and find ways to still get it done. I think that's what it comes down to. I think that's because we've been in those situations. I think it helps that we know how to figure that out.
How do you approach this matchup with the Suns? Especially, they're playing a little bit better right now, it seems like.
Yeah, they playing well. They beat some good teams. We aren't in position to look at them like, they got a bad record or whatever. We need to win the game. It's one of our last home games. We just lost to Memphis, who's also in the bottom of the standings. So, we got to come with our minds right. It's a big game for us.
Does this team seem to be doing pretty good from a mental standpoint after a couple tough losses?
Yeah. We played well last night. I think it was a playoff kind of game, and it's against a really good team. So you lose the game, but I thought it was a great effort. I thought we played really well.
Can you imagine having to go through something like what Ennis is going through right now? The Turkish government and all that stuff.
I couldn't. I couldn't imagine it. I'm sure it's tough for him, really tough.
Have you spoken with him at all about just the situation and everything?
No, I think if that was something he wanted to talk about, then he would say that. But I assume when he comes here, he wants to not only focus on work, but use this as an outlet, an opportunity to get away from that. So, it's not really my place to mention it or get in his business like that.